What is going on, guys? Welcome to this video, and hopefully you're having a good day, evening, morning, whatever bloody time it is. I hope you're having a good time thing. Anyway, so let's get straight into it. This video is going to be about Need for Speed, and people at Criterion have basically said, there was rumours about Criterion making another Need for Speed reboot, which was going to be a reboot of Underground. And if they did that, I would pretty much not buy that game, because look how much they slaughtered Most Wanted, and then they were going to slaughter Underground. Like, really? It wouldn't even be open world. It'll be a reboot of freaking Underground 1 with no open world or anything. Like, seriously. Anyway, basically, after a bit, they basically debunked the rumour, saying we're not doing that, no chance. Which made me quite happy, because if they did, I would have probably cried. Anyway, the guy tweeted soon after that. He did quite a few tweets. You know, he said he's not working on another Need for Speed or another Burnout game, which made me quite happy and sad, because a new Burnout is not going to be made apparently. But after over a decade of making racing games, it's time to make something new. It's early days, but thus I have nothing to announce or talk about. That's what he tweeted. But recently, I was actually recording, and then this happened, so I was actually quite lucky. He tweeted, the key word was personally, to the future. So basically it's saying that he's not working on racing games, but Criterion will probably make more racing games, which kind of messed my story up, but I'll still go dig deep, and I'll explain why I'm making this video in a bit. Anyway, so not just that, just about Criterion doing that. There's quite a few other things that make me lead to believe some other stuff as well. So first things first. EA has announced that they're shutting down SimCity Social, The Sims Social, and Pet Society on June 14th. Now, those are some pretty popular Facebook games, obviously not as popular as Farmville and all the others, but they're still quite popular. And they're getting shut down because people have lost interest, basically, and, you know, that is pretty scary, really. I mean, they're going to be. They said that they're going to focus on social games and mobile games, because it's giving them quite a lot of money, because people are idiots and like to buy coins on games. Anyway, not attacking everyone. Basically, they're going to be stopping those games, and that leads me to believe one other thing. Now, you'll remember that I said in my last video, if you watched it. My last Need for Speed video, that Black Box has been told to make Facebook and mobile games and such. And I don't know about EA Canada as a whole, but I'm guessing they're going the same way. So EA Canada has 3,000 employees, let me add, and they're supposed to be making, the next. I hope they're going to be making the next Need for Speed, because Black Box made, all the old good ones. Underground, Underground 2, Most Wanted, Carbon, all of them. So you've got that Black Box and EA Canada working behind those games, but at the minute the last game they made was in 2011, and nothing's been announced since. Nothing. So in the back of my head is basically screaming. Well, it's not going to be my freaking foot that's screaming the back of my head, is it? My head is basically screaming, make the next Need for Speed. Come on, you've had since 2011 to make it. That must mean you're making something decent if you're making it. Maybe, obviously, they've only just dropped the mobile games, and hopefully they'll come back to Need for Speed if EA sees that the mobile area and social area, as in Facebook, isn't really going to go anywhere. It's going to stick to a certain level. People are going to get bored, and you know what? Basically, eventually, your PS4 games, your actual PC games, not Facebook games, all those will actually be more profitable than it would to be a mobile game or whatever. But we'll see in the future, because mainly the PS4 and Gaikai and such, I could go on all day, but you know what I mean. Putting them, EA Canada and Black Box, on mobile and social games is an idiotic move. There's a lot of amazing talent there, and I think you need to rethink your strategy, EA. So enough about me wanting things and hoping things happen in the future. Let's move on to something a bit more logical and things I've actually researched about Ghost Games. So Ghost Games is supposed to be the developer that are helping Criterion with Need for Speed games. So, you know, basically what we think at the minute is that they're going to be making one year, and then, you know, well, they get 2 years between them. So like Call of Duty, they'll get 2 years between it, which for a racing game is not too bad, but we need a story in there. I mean, they can do it with in 2 years for Call of Duty. Just do it now. Seriously, it can't be that difficult. If freaking they can do it. Most Wanted actually only had half an hour of cutscenes. Crazy, right? But you know, it shouldn't take that long. But they just don't want to do it. Just can't be bothered. But anywho. So I did some digging about Ghost Games. First things first, what I did is check the website. I've probably explained some of this before, but basically all they do on their site is show job vacancies. One of them has gone since I was last looking, so they've only 3 vacancies now, which is audio guys and 2 gameplay guys. But obviously, they're not required. They've probably been working on the game for a long time. So it was announced in October or November that, you know, they were going to be helping, and they've been renamed to Ghost Games. And I did a who is on the domain, and I found something quite interesting, but it could also be absolute rubbish that we should just ignore. So here we are. It's a domain name ghostgames.com, obviously owned by Electronic Arts, blah blah blah, their address. And then it says created on Tuesday, June 18th, 2002 and expires on June 18th, 2014. So that was a bit weird. But then if you look at record last update on, so this is when the site was last updated. I'm guessing maybe domain name was changed, I don't know, because nobody heard of them or they hadn't been announced until October. So last record updated on Wednesday, October 24th, 2012. So I'm guessing it's the who is record update. So it was updated that the site had been updated on October 24th, 2012. So hopefully they were actually working on the game before that. They must have had an engine behind them, which I'm guessing is going to be Frostbite. But you get my idea, my point. Basically, they were EA Gothenburg, I'm guessing. So that's why the name says 2002. But they've been working on a Need for Speed game since late 2012. So at the same time the website went live, they had positions for jobs, which there were bloody loads of them. Prepare for a long list of jobs that were asked on the date of the site launch. So it was around October, November time. Art director, audio designer, audio engineer, creative director, development director, gameplay designer, gameplay producer, lead artist, online engineer, producer, software engineer, technical artist, technical director, tools and software engineer, vehicle engineer, and VFX artist. All of those were jobs that they were asking for when the site launched November 15th, 2012. So I'm guessing the studio didn't have the biggest brains until a bit later after that. But still, you know, it's still a bit worrying that it took them that long. But if they can produce a game in 8 months, then let them do it. You know, I can't see why not, because Black Box did a brilliant job with Carbon, but they had the Most Wanted engine to edit, but they have the Frostbite engine to edit now. So it is possible, but I don't think there's going to be a story. In the back of my head, there's saying no story and no customization. That's what my brain's saying. Hopefully I'm wrong. So I mentioned that there were 3 vacancies available still, and I'd let you know those, so you know some of you might be able to get a job there, or it also might help us to know how far the game is in development. So they're looking for an audio engineer. Well, obviously we don't know how many of them they're looking for, but they're looking for audio engineers, development directors, and software engineers. So I could go into details, but you can just look at it on the website, or I'll put a link for everything in the description. I've got it all open here. So anyway, one last bit I'd like to mention about Ghost. Ghost is headed up by former DICE executive producer Marcus Nilsson. Nielsen, I hope that's right, who previously led development on games including Battlefield 2 Modern Combat, Battlefield 2142, and Shift 2 Unleashed. Also, Burnout creator Alex Ward is working with Ghost. So, Alex Ward is the guy who was creating something that was not a racing game on Twitter, you know, the guy I mentioned. Basically, what I hope is going to happen, I can't see that Ghost are going to be able to make a racing game this generation. Well, it's not this, obviously they can make this one this generation. They can't make this one this year to release this year. And if they did, well done to them. But it's going to be pile of crap. Hopefully it's not, but it might be. I mean, I don't know. They should have got someone from Black Box in there. They really should have. Because they know what they're doing, and EA know that they just want to cut costs for some reason. It's just, you'd probably make a lot more money again from the series if you took the risks. And you seem like a company that can take a bit of a risk, especially with just one series. So, what I see happening is Criterion are going to be working on a new Need for Speed. Fingers crossed that Black Box is somewhere in there, and my thought is that Ghost is helping with Criterion, because Criterion have only just finished up the Wii U version of the game, and my guess for that is that either Ghost, a small team on Ghost, or a small team at Criterion did that, and they've been working on the new version of Need for Speed since Most Wanted was finished. Now, Criterion, I hope you can pull this off, because I mean, you've disappointed me with both of your games so far for the Need for Speed series, and you know, even Alex Ward has pretty much lost respect for you. Well, not lost respect, but lost hope for Need for Speed with Criterion and, well, Burnout really. So I don't know. All I can really say is we're going to have to wait till E3 and see some videos, which isn't quite far away now. We're actually in April, and E3 is not in May, but it's in June, and it's early June, maybe 11th. So we're pretty damn close, and hopefully we'll see something before that of Need for Speed, maybe on the day. If not, if we don't see anything, you can pretty much guarantee the game's not even ready yet, because they've only just bloody started making the game. Anyway, if you have any thoughts on this, make sure to leave them in the description. Yeah, because you can edit the description now. Leave them in the comments, and you know, I'll be replying to you and discussing with you on this topic. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I actually tweet a lot about this stuff, and obviously I can have big discussions on that. Follow me on Facebook, we'll have discussions on there, as well as follow me on my personal Google+, that's where I post quite a bit as well. So anyway, all links to everything I mentioned today will be in the description. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Yo, yes sir. Turn everything up tomorrow. The drums, you know.